Hey guys, Shadney back with another process video, and today we are celebrating Kelsey's 2000th subscriber. So if you haven't followed her, Kelsey's really awesome. And so what we've done is we've each picked a layout of hers to scrap lift. The layout I chose is this one with, it's got like heart stitching in the background and then layers behind a photo down at the bottom. So I'm going to show you what I've chosen to do with that. So what I've done is this piece of paper is a Maggie Holmes from Marigold collection, and it's just a like a ledger paper, and I've gone ahead and used clear gesso on it over the entire background. And the clear gesso I've got is Dina Wakley's, and it's the only clear gesso I've used, but I like it. It's not super gritty like what some people have talked about other clear gessos have been, but I really like it. So then after that, I pulled out gum paste, and gum paste is what a lot of people use for watercoloring. If you want to get a really clean, crisp line when you're watercoloring, you can use gum paste, and then it like kind of masks off what you don't want colored, and then you can pull it off and then go back and fill it in if you need to. So one thing to remember with gum paste, if you use it, it will ruin your brush. So I've tried many times to try to get the gum paste out after painting it on, and because of how it dries like kind of rubbery, to some point you're never going to fully get it out of your brush. So if you're using gum paste, have a separate brush just for that. And then, okay, so all I've done is I've done a rough heart with a big rounded brush. And I didn't draw it, I just kept filling it in until it was kind of evenly shaped. And the whole point was I didn't want to stitch on the layout. So I, like Kelsey did, Kelsey's, the stitching was really pretty, but I just didn't want to take the time to do it. Sorry, I'm kind of croupy this morning. So I just wanted to do something different, and I don't do a lot of mixed media. I just am lazy and don't want to wait for everything to dry and everything. So I went ahead and went for it whenever I had the feeling like I should do it. So I've pulled out 6 different colors in the Dylusions shimmer spray. This is one of my favorite sprays because it's so pretty, so shimmery. At the very end of the video, you'll see I'll do like an up close and show you can see the shimmer a little bit better than right here because it's kind of flat right here, but it gets more shimmery whenever it's dry. But this spray is very good because it also keeps its color really well. The shimmer, it's like it picks up the color, so even if you do it over a dark background or whatever, you're still getting that color, and then you're getting that shimmer. It's more iridescent definitely than like the Heidi Swapp shimmer, and definitely more opaque, I think. But anyways, so I've pulled out 6 colors, and I just tried to kind of do a rainbow around. I did the darkest on bottom, the periwinkle and that purple, just to kind of balance out. I feel like the darker colors are heavier, so they need to be down at the bottom to kind of weight down the bottom so that it's not overwhelming at the top. Plus, that's where my photo is going to go, so it'll kind of draw your eye down in that direction too. So after that, I've just gone around and added splatters of each color around the same sections. So I let it dry, and I'm an impatient person. And I didn't wash my hands between times. So you just kind of rub on it and it peels off. You can also use an eraser, and like, is it a gum eraser? It's some kind of an eraser, and it will peel it off really well too. Something I didn't take into consideration, I will tell you. You can also see I tore a hole in the paper because I was being too rough with it. That was totally on me. It doesn't usually tear your paper. It's just because I was rubbing too hard. So the thing is that with the dilution spray, because of that shimmer, if you rub your finger across it, even if it's completely dry, sometimes you can smudge that shimmer. And so this isn't necessarily the best technique to do with the shimmer spray. I should have done it with one that would dry completely and not smear at all. Like if you would have used it with watercolor and waited for it to completely dry, it wouldn't have that problem. But, and then I smeared, like really smeared ink right there. Like a dot wasn't dry and I smeared it. So what we're going to do to kind of hide the disaster that's inside that heart, I'm going to go in with the same colors and splatter on the inside as well. So it kind of, it kind of distracts from the fact that there is smudges and stuff in the background that aren't supposed to be there. And, but you still get that really nice distinct line of the heart where the color lines up. So I just continue around with all the colors going on the inside as well. And if there are dots that are a little like too full of liquid, I'll soak some of it up just to help it dry faster. Because when you do put gesso down, it means that it doesn't absorb into the paper like it normally would, so it takes longer to dry for sure. Just wiping up some of the extra pieces in the background here. And in my head, in theory, I'm going to cover up that big blue smudge that's up the middle of it and the place where I rubbed all the paper off the top layer. But you'll see in the end, I don't really, but I mean, the blue smudge gets covered up with all the layers and stuff, but I don't really cover up the big hole. So I was showing you this paper pad, and if you look at one side, they're all very beachy, and I think it's My Mind's Eye is the brand. I can't remember. They're all very bold, beachy, like patterns. And that's not really my thing. I like the B-sides of everything, but this whole, it's perfect because you turn the whole thing over and flip it the opposite way. That's what I was trying to show you. If you flip it one way, you get all these bright, bold patterns and icons and stuff like that, but you do it the other way and you just get these really lovely colors in these B-side kind of patterns. And honestly, this is like one of my favorite 6x8s now, and I got it at Tuesday morning in a multi-pack. It came with maybe chipboard and some die cuts, or maybe stickers and some die cuts, something like that. But I really just wanted the paper pad because these are really nice B-sides. So yeah. Anyways, so I'm just going through and adding some layers up behind here. And I've picked kind of the colors that are in the background, the green, the yellow, the orange, and then there's a stripe, which is the back of the orange, I believe. Because it does have all those colors in it, and it just gives it a nice little pop of the brighter stuff. And then again with layering. Okay, so whenever I printed my photo, it is printed as a 4x6, but I shrunk each photo so that they were the same size, and I would still have enough white space around each one, and then just trimmed it so that it looked like a photo strip. And that kept my photos all together and makes it easier to scrap, in my opinion. I mean, not always, but in this situation, I wanted to scrap it as one full photo instead of like little individual photos, so it makes it easier to like back them and stuff like that. I cut this green paper so that, like, wide enough so that I could do a border punch across the edge. You guys know I love my notebook punches, and I've not been using them lately, so I'm pulling those back out. I'm going to go ahead and add some fun foam between these layers just to give it a little bit of interest and some more dimension. I love adding fun foam behind photos just to help them pop a little bit and bring a little bit more focus to the photo itself. And I use this extra wide tear tape to adhere the fun foam because fun foam just doesn't like to stick to everything. I don't know. So I went ahead and did that. I will mention too, when adding layers behind photos, if you've not followed me for a long time, I like to add a lot of different textures into it to keep the interest of all of it, instead of just doing matte after matte after matte. Like adding those torn pieces across the bottom, having some pieces that don't go all the way around your photo, having the border punch across the top, stuff like that. It adds a lot more interest and just gives it like a quirkier kind of vibe. Once I have it all ready to go, I decide to pull out some doilies, and these are the colored doilies from the shop. I think as of right now, there might be one pack left in the shop, but there might be all gone. I'm sorry, either way. I did look into ordering some more, but the seller that I bought them from before has raised the prices, and they are not really realistic for resale. So I'm still looking for a good alternative for those because they were like the perfect colors for doilies. So I was going to mention too, what I did was I tried to bring some of that color across the page. So the orange one I did on the bottom corner, so it was opposite the orange at the top, and then the same with the blue. The blue was down at the bottom, so I put it up at the right top of the photo. This is a thicker. It's an older, I think it's a Dear Lizzie. I can't remember exactly, but it's an older one. But I got it not that long ago at Joann's. If you have not checked them out lately, they've been carrying some really cool stuff. They've got a lot of the new stuff. The new Maggie Holmes Garden Party, the new Jen Hadfield collection, a bunch of new Tim Holtz stuff. Yeah, just a bunch. There's a lot. Amy Tan, I think. Maybe Vicky Boutin. Yes, Vicky Boutin for sure. Anyways, so they have a bunch if you're interested in anything like that, and they were on sales, which is really nice. So, and coupons and all that. So, in my head, I was not going to embellish tone on tone, but then I didn't really know what to do, and I kind of wanted to use up a bunch of these pieces that I've had forever. I'm trying to be more conscious of what I'm using and add more, like try to use up packages that are partially gone before I open new things. So I'm trying to like pull out some of these older things that I just haven't pulled in a while and use those up. So this is one of them, and it had the orange, the yellow, and the green in there. So I went ahead and used all those, and because there's gesso on the background and all this mixed media, I did use Nuvo liquid glue to adhere all of these down in place. I also just wasn't really sure how good the adhesive was after so many years because it is an older collection. And then I just sprinkle around all of these bits and pieces. I do leave a couple of those green just because I don't want too much on there, but and then I was trying out that blue on the blue, but they just were not right because that was that greenish teal blue. But then I pull out, this one is from Head in the Clouds, which is also a Chamel collection and has glittery shapes in it. And they are the perfect periwinkle blue. So those worked perfectly. The only ones I didn't have were the pink and the purple. So now what I've done is I pulled out the puffy stickers that I've had in the shop. I will be ordering more of those. They are out right now. They sold really fast, so I will be ordering more of those, and they'll go up in the shop as soon as they get here. They usually take a little while, so they might not be up till the next release, but I will definitely let you guys know when they are back. And then I'm just adding those around in the same tone on tone colors. I haven't tried these by themselves, so I'm not sure how the adhesive is on them. But again, because I used the gesso, I wanted to make sure to use extra adhesive so that they didn't pop off. And then still just working tone on tone. In this kind of situation, there's some larger and some smaller. There's not a whole lot of difference, but I mean, that's not what I meant to say. There's not a whole lot of both. Like, some of them will have a lot of large ones and just a couple small ones, or a couple large ones and a lot of small ones. So when I'm sprinkling them around, really mostly what I'm doing is trying to put the larger ones towards the center and smaller ones towards the outside, just to add more weight to the inside of the heart, and it kind of dissipates as it goes out. The only one that didn't work on is the green, because the green only came in the larger size. They didn't have it in the tinier size. So it didn't really work out. After all of this is said and done, I just add some journaling down here to the bottom left corner, and after it dries, I will trim off that, the zip strip across the top, the branding strip, and just chunk that, and that will be all for this layout. So please go down below, and I will have linked a bunch of other awesome YouTube ladies that are participating in this hop and helping Kelsey celebrate her 2,000 subscribers. It's pretty amazing in the Scrapbook community to get that high. That's really awesome, and she's really good. She's very nice to listen to too, which sounds funny, but she's a very sweet girl, or woman, sorry. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Go down below to check out all those other videos, and then go check out Kelsey and definitely subscribe to her and help her add that subscriber count up a little bit more. So thank you guys. Have a wonderful day and happy scrapping. Bye.